Deja flipping do, folks. Deja flipping do. And now we're going to wait 365 more days to have another crack at winning on opening day. It's the same old with Blackburn Rovers as we come out of the opening day with another defeat. That's right, folks, back once again with another match review. This time we're taking a bit of a detailed look at the latest Blackburn Rovers match, the opening game of the 2019-2020 Championship season. And boy, oh boy, it's a bit of a stinker. And we'll get to it, though, in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, world football related. We've got it all here under one roof. Now, I just want to, first of all, a bit of technical snafus. My original setup here is a little bit hinky, so I'm about to kind of go to plan B. So hopefully the audio comes out nice and crisp enough for you. But ultimately, yes, a bit of a shit show for you. So let's get cracking and take a little look, shall we, at Blackburn Rovers. First and foremost, we're going to do a little bit different from last year. We're going to take a look at the start 11s, then we'll look at the stats, and then we'll give you my match ratings and all that kind of good stuff. Then we'll hear from the fans, hear from the gaffer, and then we'll kind of wrap it all up in a bit of a dicky bow. So here we go, boys and girls. Quick look at the Blackburn Rovers starting 11. Well, this is where it all started to go wrong for us, folks. One between the sticks, no real debate there because we've got no one else to go in between the sticks. Amari Bell, left back, question marks already. Darrell Lenihan, centre back. Charlie Mulgrew, other centre back, shouldn't be playing. Elliot Bennett at right back again. What the heck are we doing there? Bradley Johnson in the centre midfield. Not bad there. Not a bad debut by him. Obviously, Travis for one of the first names of the sheet. Dacky Boy, Downing, Armstrong, and Gallagher. As for our opposition, they started with a three-man back line with five in midfield. Is that right? With three men at the back. Well, here it is. Here is the formation for you. Phillips between the sticks, Sarr, Lockyer, and Pearce were those defenders. Then they basically had 6 men in defence, kind of split up like Purrington, Williams, Lapsey, Pratley, Foskar-Kasky, and Jick Steele across the midfield and supporting the attacker, which was Lyle Taylor. So that was the formations. Quick look at the stats for you. And 2-1 was the final score. Charlton coming out on top with Purrington opening up the scoring just before the halftime whistle. 43 minutes on the goal. Wasn't the prettiest of goal. He ain't gonna score much more uglier goals than that. But they took the lead with it. To go into halftime with their tails up. As for Rovers, we had to dig down a little bit to get ourselves back into the game, and we got it courtesy of a Bradley Johnson. I think it was a header, but basically a hit off a Charlton defender and into the back of the net. So that made it 1-1, and game on. It was game on. Rovers started to turn the screw a little bit, and ultimately we tried to push, but ultimately we got caught out with some really Blackburn Rovers-esque defending. That's all the best thing I could say about that. And Lyle Taylor tapping home or heading home or finishing home the easy seconds to make it 2-1, and that was it. We didn't offer anything else. It was the same shit, different story for Blackburn Rovers, and it is frustrating times. So a quick look at the stats for you down the bottom. It does show Rovers dominating possession, 61%, going in favour of us, 38 and a bit going the other way. We had more shots than Charlton, 14-9. Our pass success rate was better, 80-60. Dribbles 8-2. Aerials challenges 24-11. Tackles 12-11. Corners 12-2. It was all Rovers. It was all flipping Rovers. 14,184 were intended to see this absolutely shambolic display. Even young Buckley came on for the last few minutes, but ultimately to little or no avail. And we had a perfectly good right back on the bench, Ryan Nyambe. Quick look at the shots, or the sort of radiuses of where all they took place. Quite a few. We offered a bit. We definitely played better football, but ultimately it was too little, too late. And Charlton, they got the chances, they took them. They made us look like the team that just got promoted from League One. And they start the season off with a win, and we have to go scrambling back now and hopefully try and pick something up in the next 2 games up against probably two of the favourites. To go up, Fulham and Middlesbrough. So it just gets harder, folks. Absolutely harder. Some more stats for you here. Touches wise, what do we get? I'm trying to find all all my data here. 616 touches for Rovers, 444 for Charlton. We had more passes, 443 to 287. And down the bottom there, you can see where all the shots took place and the saves and all that kind of good stuff. So let's take a look at the heat maps. If you're a heat map man just like me, you can see down the right-hand side where Bennett was playing. That was one of the hot areas or topics for a conversation for a later date. And also Charlton's keeper was very active as well, because we peppered him a little bit with shots and all that kind of good stuff. But down the right-hand side, where Bennett was, he is one of our weakest links in this 11. I'm not saying he's one of the weakest links on the books, but playing him at right back, it just doesn't suit us whatsoever. Now let's take a look at my match ratings for you folks. Walter with a debut, he gets a 5-2. 2 sloppy goals conceded. He's supposed to be an upgrade. Allegedly, he's supposed to be an upgrade from David Raya, but ultimately two goals conceded on your debut. Your home debut as well. Amari Bell gets a 5 as well at left back. Even Darrell Lenihan can only get a 5. I've been very, very harsh and critical today because it's just not worth it. Charlie Mulgrew gets a 4. Big flat slap dab in the middle of the face. Big fat 4. And Ryan Elliot Bennett gets a 3 at right back. What are we doing playing him at right back? It frustrates the piss out of me. No disrespect here, Elliot, but you're a midfielder. I don't know why we're doing this. I don't know why we continue to do this and play people out of position. It drives me mad. One of the shining lights, Bradley Johnson coming in with a 6. Man of the match by a country mile, and that's saying something. The man of the match gets a 6. Travis gets a 5 as well. Dacarino also gets a 5. Downing looked good in spurts, so he gets a 5. Armstrong ran his legs off with a 6, and Sam Gallagher, toothless up top with a 4. We did try to mix it up a bit in the second half, bringing on Graham, bringing on Buckley, bringing on somebody else, Rothwell. Yeah. For me, I know it's easy looking back on this, but Bennett should not have been playing at right back. Mulgrew, there's no question really. There's no one else really to compete, which is a major factor. These guys, he's just looking around, you know, who else is a centre-back? Who else is going to play? Oh, yeah, it's going to be me. Well, Williams is out injured, so it's going to be me. I've got no question. Even though I am wear the captain's armband, you shouldn't be guaranteed a flipping spot. And after today's performance, you don't deserve to be in the game against Fulham. Same goes for you, Bennett, unless you want to play somewhere else. But right back, you cannot do it. Simple as that. Up against a team, no disrespect, just got promoted from League One, at Ewood Park, and you got ripped apart. Ripped apart. Made us look like clowns, buffoons. So, where do we go from here? That's the question mark. Obviously, the gaffer says maybe some current players coming in and coming out. We did bring this youngster in from Manchester City. That is not the answer for me. It's a plaster, a band-aid wherever you are in the world. It's a temporary fix. It's not going to ultimately fix our defensive issues. Well, we still have Mulgrew, and we still have Bennett playing out of whack. Now I get these two positions. These two guys, they're loyal. They wear they bleed blue and white. Fair enough. And they probably have tattoos of Rovers badge on their breasts or whatever. But let's stick them on the bench. They can't just expect to get a spot within the starting 11. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be when a recognised right back is set, unless he had an injury or something like that. But still. I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't get what the gaffer does sometimes. I love him to bits and all that, but he does make some bonkers decisions, and this cost us today, which prior to kickoff looked like a guaranteed 3 points for Rovers. Anyway, yeah, quick look at these other results for you. It's not been the greatest results for the big boys. You know, Fulham slipping up to Barnsley here. Where are they? 1-0 loss. Stoke losing to QPR. My tips for the drop Sheffield Wednesday, despite losing a man, won 3-1. Other results yesterday, Luton Town picked up a massive point at home at Kenilworth Road, 3-3. Wigan also opened up their campaign with a win, beating Cardiff as well. Swansea beating Hull 2-1. David Raya also opened up his campaign with a defeat over at Brentford. Millwall opened up with a win over Preston. Not as far as the late kickoff. Lost to West Brom. And now, quick look at their early door table here now. Don't read too much into this, folks. But we are sitting in 17th spot. And Sheffield Wednesday are going to the Premier League as it stands. And Charlton are they could have asked for a better start. Coming away from home, picking up 3 points, and then now they get to bring it back down to the Valley next week. And who do they take on next week? They take on Stoke City. And if they play like they played today, which was dogged, gritty, Charlton-esque, Lee Bowyer-esque, they're going to get themselves something out of that game as well. As for us, we do take on Fulham at Craven Cottage. I'm going to be on the road, but I'll hopefully still get to catch this game and you'll still get my thoughts and all that kind of good stuff. Other matches next week: Leeds take on Nottingham Forest in the early kick-off hole, entertain Reading. West Brom take on Millwall. So two teams who open up with wins or duke it out. Derby will take on Swansea. Cardiff up against Luton. Preston against Wigan, local derby there. Sheffield Wednesday against Barnsley. QPR, Huddersfield, Birmingham, Bristol, and Middlesbrough up against Brentford. Now, you've heard a little bit of what I've had to say about the match. What did the Gaffer have to say shortly after the final whistle? Here's his verdict about the result and much more.
Yeah, I think so. I think there was positives. I think we generally dominated the game. We were generally just trying to get through that wall of players, I suppose, and not enough quality in that final pass, not enough quality around the edge of the box to kill, really. When I say kill, to put the pass in, that is a simple header, a simple tap in, a finish that we should have scored, but didn't come. And I think in games like that, sometimes you're almost waiting for one mistake, one set play that comes in, that somebody gets in front of somebody, and ultimately it was one of them days for us, really. I didn't really feel threatened all day. They had a shot first half and then they scored from one of their only breakaways. Really frustrated with the nature of their corner kick, for the second goal. The boy threw it straight in the middle of our box and he ran through and had a shot. It was some really poor defending to allow them to get situations, really. And yet for the vast majority of the game we had the ball, and our inability to get behind them, to break them down, was evident. I suppose they were an honest, hard-working group of players, but it was a game that was there for us to win today. And even at half-time, I've said, listen, you'll win this 3 or 4-1, but you have to get the first goal. We did get the first goal. We took all the air out of us, really. The second goal, you've got to make first contact on set plays against, and a simple ball in the box, a header that I'm not sure he was even heading for goal. I think he was just trying to keep it in the box. It's gone in off the far post, but thought then we became a little bit too direct and played into the hands of their three big centre halves a little bit. They were good at managing the game, I think. They weren't helped by the officials who allowed them to do that and slow it down and take their time on everything. And but that's football. Listen, let's not blame anything other than ourselves. The opportunity was there to beat Charlton today, and yet we didn't do it. And we have to just keep moving on. It's frustrating for us. We've got a tough game away against the favourites for the league, I think, next week. So see if we can go there and frustrate them and give them some problems, and just look forward to every game. And yet we're allowed to be disappointed today. We are disappointed today. Disappointed for the supporters who came and full of enthusiasm, and yet we didn't quite get the job done. I've been trying to say all week, the first games of a season are all the same in my memories over the years, however many years, 20, 30 years really, of they're generally quite close games, a lot of fouls, a lot of contact, everybody's playing with huge intensity, everybody wants to win every tackle and challenge, and referees are generally not quite up to speed of opening days, and it's a bit frustrating for the game. It's a bit stop-start. They're usually tight affairs. I'd prefer to be away generally on an opening day of a season, because then you've got a home game as the second game comes or the third game comes, you're back at home, and you have a better opportunity. But it's over now. It was a tight game like I'd anticipated, whether it was Charlton, as I said during the week, whether it was Charlton, Fulham, Leeds, top team, or a team that just got promoted. It doesn't really matter opening day of the season, because the games are so harem-scarum, so fast, and lots of fouls, lots of tackles, lots of challenges. Referees just keep blowing their whistles, and so it's finished now. Doesn't matter. Let's move on. Next game, 45 to go.
Of the positives, is Bradley Johnson one of the biggest ones today?
I think so. I thought he was good today. I thought he showed his strength. I thought he showed his composure, showed his ability. And yet, as I said, I stand here now. Results matter in football. It's performance level generally gets your results. It didn't today. Performance level was okay, not as clinical or as good as we'd have liked to be. But let's just keep working with the team, keep going. Positives, negatives. I can feel the negatives. I see the negatives. We've been trying trying to strengthen, trying to add. It's not easy. Let's see, as I say, there's a week or so to go, the transfer window. Let's see what happens in the next week. I don't know. I don't want to say yes or no. It doesn't matter. It's really tough. It's to get the players that you want, and if you don't get the players you want, as I've always done, I try and improve the ones we've got, and that's the way to go, really, rather than panic buy and just get it wrong and spend and waste money, really. So let's see what the next week brings, but we'll get back to the training ground and see if we can be better next week.
A little bit what I've had to say about the match, and you heard what the Gaffers had to say about the match. Now, what about our fans of the week? Lewis Stubbs, Charlton supporter, he must be going over the moon with this result. Here he is with his verdict.
Hello, Blackburn Rovers viewers. How are you doing? It's me, Lewis Stubbs, the Charlton Athletic fan, and giving my immediate reaction after the game. Fortunately, I couldn't go to Ewood, but yeah, I'm gutted because obviously what a brilliant result it was for us. 2-1 against Blackburn. I didn't expect that. I expected it to be 2-1 at Blackburn. Get in there. No. Goals from Purrington and Lyle Taylor for us, and then obviously a Phillips own goal. Like, it's just typical of us always doing that. But yeah, great start to us for the season. I think Blackburn will be fine. Like, it's just the first game. They're going to need time to gel. But for us, that's brilliant. Like, just to get back in the Championship and get that win, it's just brilliant. Great start to the season. Hopefully we carry that on, and yeah, that's all I've got to say, really. Nothing much to say. I was on the game, unfortunately, so yeah, good goals from us. I like that. Good play for both of them, so yeah, no, it's good, encouraging signs. So yeah, thanks for having me on Blackburn Rovers. All the best for the season, Blackburn, and I wish you all the best. Good luck. See you later. Subscribe to Blackburn Rovers. See you later.
Now, what about our Rovers supporter of the week, Ian Herbert? Obviously, very vocal before the match. How's he taken the defeat shortly after the final whistle?
Okay, so I'm back after the 2-hour drive from Blackburn to Sheffield. What can I say? Well, 3 things, I guess. First of all, opening day matches, much like pre-season friendlies, don't read too much into them. There's a long way to go. It's always disappointing to lose them, but it's not the end of the world if you do so. Today was very disappointing. Charlton were there for the taking, but we just didn't quite click. We didn't quite get into gear, and they took advantage of our weak defence. Secondly, at the back end of last season, I think we could have all predicted that the back four was where Mowbray was going to take drastic action and bring in extra players. We know he signed Adrabeo, but he wasn't available today. On the evidence of today, we've got to look at that back four unit. It's just a continuation of the same script from last season, where we're sloppy, we give stuff away. Not good enough, basically. Finally, plus points, Bradley Johnson. Thought he slotted in quite nicely alongside Lewis Travis. He has a nice touch, he has a good range of passing, he's got physical strength and was deservedly man of the match. Sam Gallagher put himself about, put a lot of effort in, but never really got a clean chance at scoring. Rovers had chances, they didn't take them. Charlton had chances, they did take them, and that's the story of the game, really. So disappointing, but we move on. And let's not get too downbeat. It's the first game of the season.
Meanwhile, what's been going on social media? Well, I'm going to go through my actual Twitter feed here. I've actually liked a few posts that caught my eye a little bit. Now, brfcs.com said we have bigger opening day howlers, right enough, but this isn't great. The New York City Rovers also said this. It's only one match. 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 Basically, he says it's only one match, and that's him saying that to himself. Rovers tweet said this: Fulham, Middlesbrough, Cardiff, West Brom, nice easy games to bounce back to as well. Meanwhile, Safaraz Mohammed, extremely poor first game. Other than Bradley Johnson, no other positives to take from that game. Bennett is not a right back and never will be. Mulgrew's days are numbered. Dak looked really unfit. What does Rothwell have to do to get a start? #Rovers. Meanwhile, Dougie Mouse said this: same back four as last season, who shipped so many goals. Tony Mowbray's changes, keeper for one, about same standard, buys more strikers, even though we spent 7.5 million on one last summer. I've said it all. Defence needs improving. Exasperated. Meanwhile, Rovers tweets, very vocal after the defeat. Johnson solid, nice partnership, good form with Travis. I thought Armour was quite bright too, but seemed our only option at times. Mr. Andy Neal said, same old faces from last season, plenty of possession, some half chances created, very few goal scoring opportunities created. And as for the defence, if it didn't work last season, you don't fix the problems, then why on earth would anything change over the summer? NYC Rovers once again. Ben Bennett and Mowbray are League One footballers. Queen of Ewood, she was there. Well, that was poop, she says. I'm sorry, Mowbray, but you spend $5 million on a striker but can't bring in any defenders. Really hope there's more transfers. On to the next one, Fulham away. Sadly, no video, as she forgot her camera and her phone. Jen Bellamy said this: I do have one whopping great positive from today. Bradley Johnson, this evening we shall toast to him. Craig Latham said this: Mulgrew, Bennett, Downing, I can't see being in the side by the end of the month. Rothwell has to start regardless. Johnson was very good for me. That's ridiculous. Brereton wasn't given time. Talk about knocking his confidence. Rovers tweet one more times in there. Mowbray, there was some really frustrating defending on show today. Team conceded 69 goals last season. Signed one defender, didn't play. No problem. Yeah, no problem. My foot. Mike DeLab also very vocal as well. In otherwise unseen good news. Bradley Johnson looked really impressive. He freed up Travis quite nicely. The one and only Deuce, who will be guesting as a Rovers supporter in a couple of days. It won't be for the next game. It'll probably be the Middlesbrough one. It may be simplistic, but that's because it's true. Benno is not a right back. Nyambe is. Mulgrew has proved time and time again that he's a liability at centre back. I love both players too, but they aren't good defenders. Benno gave up 3 poor passes, 1 led to a goal. Can't defend that. Latham's there once again. Talk of Ewood said Mowbray often said his defence knew they were going to be signings to challenge them. So where are they? I know the window's not over, but it's never the best way to start, especially with some tough games coming up. If you know me, you'll know that I always like to see the positive in most situations regarding Rovers, but I cannot get my head around the defensive selection. Nyambe for me is always over Bennett at right back, and centre back signing would be very welcome. And California Rover said this: Tony, no more honeymoon, no more Benno at right back, no more Bell, no more big strikers on the wing, more energy, more pace, more balls in the box. You promised us new defenders. You promised us a new way. None today. Tony Mowbray, don't be Theresa May. Deliver what we want. We keep the faith. Well, that, my friends, is all I've got for you. Yes, it is a dismal start to the season, losing our first game. But we go again, and next up for us, it just gets a little bit more difficult. It is our first away game of the campaign. Hopefully we can get off to a bit of a start there, taking on Fulham down at Craven Cottage. Obviously, they started with a defeat. Maybe we can take advantage of them this time out. And yeah, we've got the transfer window to close. I do expect some signings. Obviously, a bit of a reaction to this, maybe, and maybe we'll just get that defender that we need. The big old German behemoth, maybe. I don't know. The talk of that's died down a little bit. And maybe a new goalkeeper as well, because we need to be pressing these people. We need to be pressing Mulgrew. We need to be pressing Nyambe. We need to be pressing Walton. He just walks in here now on loan. He doesn't even belong to the club, and he walks in and he goes, yeah, I'm number one. No problems, because he hasn't got anyone knocking on the door. Mulgrew, yes, he wears the carpenter's armband, and he looks around the dressing room, and there's no other competition for centre-back. He's just going to go, yeah, I don't care. I don't care who's playing up top, because I know I'm going to get myself a spot on the team, because there's no other flipping defenders. Sort it out, Gaffa. Anyway, that's all I've got for you. I'm going to get myself ready. Obviously, got prepper ready next week. A lot of build up to the game against Fulham. Starting with some predictions on Monday. We'll revisit the old ones. We'll take a look at what you guys have predicted for the opening match day. See how many you got right and all that kind of good stuff. And then we go again. We preview the game. We hear from both fans, and we'll get Cass's verdict. Until I see you all again, make sure you smash that thumbs up, smash a subscribe. We'll be back very, very soon. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.